This is the practice test. First thing we're supposed to do is rename the database. Let me go. I've already got the database open. So to rename it, you do save database as, and then we're going to put last name, first name in front of it. Okay. And then we got a few things to do with the tables. In the donors table, we're going to change the name of the donor column to donor name. So in the donors table, I want to go to design view, and I want to change donor to donor name, and that's all there is to it. Change the field size of phone number to 20. So let's go to our phone number column, and the field size is down here. Change that to 20. Add the following record. Okay, so I'm going to add a donor. So we're going to close this and save the changes, and then we're going to open it up and go down here and DNR 1212. And we'll leave that first name field blank and close that. And I think the next thing is to add a record to the gifts table. It's going to be gift 32. Okay, and that's all you do to add a record. Now we're going to do a form. We're going to create a form for the donors table. So select it and go to create and choose form, and there's our form. We want to set the width of the text boxes, not the labels, to 3 inches. So that's a property of them, and so if I go over here, I got my property sheet visible. If it's not visible, just right click on one of these fields here and go down to properties. If I do it now, I'll turn it off, so I'm not going to click on it. And we want the width to be 3, and they all change to 3. Go to design view and change the form header by adding our first and last name, and then we're going to put our name in a label in the footer. So let's go to design view and just go up here and click on it, add your name. And then the footer down here, there's nothing in it right now. We want to put label. This is a label down here, and we want to put our name in it. And then we can close that and save the changes, and we'll just call it 3M Donors. That's a good enough name. And now we're going to start doing some queries. I want the donor names and phone numbers in alphabetical order by donor name. So let's close this and let's create a new query. And I want the donors table, and I want the donor name, and I want the donor phone number. So just double click on those, and I want it sorted alphabetically, which is ascending order by donor name. If I run it, here they are in alphabetical order. I get 12 records, and we're going to save that as 01. And I forgot what we're calling it here. We are calling it sorted by name. Okay, donors. And click on OK, and we can close that query and flip back over to our test questions. All of the gifts that are 400 or 40 or more, we want the description, category, and the retail value. Okay, so we're going to create a query. And this is in the gifts table, so I want the description, the category, and the retail value, I think. Description, category, retail value, $40 or more. So I have to have some criteria for the retail value. Greater than or equal to 40, hit the enter key. And we're supposed to get 11 records back, and check them out. They are all greater than 40. And what are we going to call this one? We're going to call this 02 gifts of $40 or more. I'm going to copy that to the clipboard with a Control-C, and I'm going to flip over here and I'm going to save it, and I'm going to paste in the name. Did I not get that? Let's try Control C again, and let's go back here and Control V. It's not going to let me paste in that box. That's kind of unusual. So 02. Gifts of $40 or more. Let me try that again. I wonder if I just pressed the wrong key here. I did. Click on OK. Close that one. Let's go back here and want a query that'll list donor name and phone number of all donors where the donor name begins with the letter A. I'm going to call this 3A donors. Okay, get 3 records. Name and phone number where donor name begins with A. So I'm going to create a new query. Donors table, and I want the donor name and what else? Phone number. And the donor name, criteria, not sort. Starts with A and can be followed by anything, so that's the asterisk, and they'll change it to like A star with quotation marks. Let's run it. I think it said we're supposed to get 3, and those are the 3 that start with A. And we're going to call this one, we're going to call this 03A donors. Let's copy that to the clipboard and save it. 3A donors, click on OK, close that one, flip back over to our test. And we want a query that will list the donor name, phone number, and all donors who have the word foundation anywhere. And we'll call this 04 foundation donors. So donor name and phone number again. So we're going to create a new query. Donors table, double click on it and close it. Donor name, phone number, and I want the criteria is foundation is any place. And if I widen that, you'll see that it added the word like and put quotation marks around my string. So now we're looking for the word foundation, and it looks like we have 4 of them. And that's what it says. We should have 4 records returned. Let's go ahead and save it. Click on OK, close it, and let's look at the next query. Create a query that will return the donor name and phone number of all donors who do not have a value in the contact first name column. So name and phone number. Do not display the contact first name column. It should return the clean foundation for stuff record. So I want the donor name and phone number. And I'm looking for a first name that is null, and we're going to call this missing contacts. So we're going to create a new query on the donors table, and I want the name and the phone number where the contact first name, and I don't want to show it, is null. So I have to put is null. And notice it capitalizes that for me. And let's run that, and we should get the clean foundation for stuff has a missing name. And we'll call that missing contacts. So I'm going to copy this. I think I already did. But now we're going to save it. Control V, click on OK, close the query. And let's go to the next one. We want the description and the retail value of everything that has a value between 20 and 40. And we're going to call this... Let's copy that to clipboard right now. So description and retail value between 20 and 40. I don't need the table open. Query design, gift items, description, and retail value. Double click on both of them, and this has to be between 20 and 40. And if I run that, I get 20 records returned, and that's what it says I should get. Let's go ahead and save it. Paste in the name, click on OK, close the query, and now we're on number 7, and we'll call this one Theater and Music. So I'm going to copy the name right now. I want the description, category, and value that are in the theater or music category. Item, description, category, and retail value. So let's create query design, description, category, and retail value. And the criteria is, now is theater spelled ER? Yes. Or, so it goes on a separate line. And let's go ahead and try to run that. And we got 1, 2, 7 records. Says down here 7. Let's see how many were we supposed to get. 7 records should be returned. And we're going to save it, and we're going to call it 7 Theater and Music Gifts. Click on OK, close the query, flip back over to our test, and create a query that will return the retail value of the most valuable gift. Okay, that's going to be the max function. And we're going to call this most valuable gift. So I want the retail value of the most valuable gift. Okay, so I want retail value. And then I got to do this one here, and I want to say max. And if I run it, there was one out there for $100. And let's go ahead and save that. And it's most valuable gift. Click on OK. And I can close that. And now flip back over to our test. Create a query that will return the total value of the retail value column. So we're going to call this 9 total value of gifts. Don't include the period. And so I want the total of the retail value column. So let's create a new query. Gift items. And I want retail value. And I want to bring this down. And I want the sum. Whoops. Clicked in the wrong place. Sum. And let's run that. And the sum of all of those is 1,025, and that's what we should get. And we're not going to do much with reports on the test other than what was in Chapter 1. So we'll stop there.